Here we go. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Maverick. Yes, that is my real name. No creativity with my social media handle. Just PRMaverickz. Name is Maverick. I'm Puerto Rican. Nice and simple. I'm gonna start. The video here today, as you see in the title, I'm going over the playoff picture in football. I'm gonna start with the AFC. Next video will involve the NFC. Probably just tomorrow. I just started, so a little bit about myself. I started playing 2K, new to it, so I'm gonna, create content with that. But I want to create more content involving sports in general. Sports in general, it allows me to be, me. And I can talk sports all day: basketball, football, baseball. I'm getting into soccer, but it's gonna be a bit before I do anything with that. So just focus on basketball and football. Find them easier to talk about. So my name being Maverick, I am a Mavs fan with basketball. We'll go over that another day. Right now with football, as you can see, I'm a Pats fan, so I will try to be as unbiased as possible involving them. But yeah, like I said, talking sports allows me to be me. And I love talking sports anyway, so why not create content with something that I enjoy? As we saw yesterday, the last undefeated team is finally down. Steelers, 11-1. They lost to the Washington football team. And there was a lot of chatter going around if the Steelers were the worst 11-0 team in history. They haven't been flashy or impressive all season. So I kind of was in agreement with that. But if you look at the stats, even if you just go to the regular standings, no, it's not what I want to do. If you go here, their point differential is the best in football. They're top, I think they're second in points scored, but they're the best defensive scoring team football. Yeah, the Dolphins surprisingly right behind them. But Steelers, they have the least amount of points while they're second in scoring. Right, obviously number one being the Chiefs. No, the third in scoring. Number one being the Chiefs. Two being the Titans. And hold on. The Chiefs are okay in the AFC. Let's talk about the AFC. Chiefs are first, Titans second, Steelers third, with the highest point differential in football. So you can see why they were 11-0 to start. Yeah, it's not flashy, but they did what they needed. They did what needed to be done to win games. Score and you play defense, because at the end of the day, defense was championships. And then I think somebody was saying that the Steelers and the Chiefs, their average win margin were close. So even though the Steelers were 11-0, the Chiefs were 10-1 going into the week. The Chiefs were still the best team in football, best team in the AFC still, even though the Steelers hadn't lost a game until yesterday. But they're both 11-1. I think they'll both stay top two for the rest of the season. It says here wins tiebreak over Kansas City based on win percentage in conference games. Obviously, the Steelers lost to Washington, played for the NFC, and the Chiefs lost to Oakland. That was a great game, actually. Against Oakland, that was a great game. Then 9-3, leader of the AFC East, who was actually my favorite when the season started. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Colt Beasley. That was my favorite to win the division. Titans 8-4, with the Texans losing DeAndre Hopkins in the offseason. Horrible trade, in my opinion. Probably the biggest steal since Moss for a 4th round pick. So this was a safe pick to win the South. Browns 9-3, if the Steelers don't bring it back, Browns are right there. I think they play the Steelers one more time. I think they play one more time. So that could be a game for the division. Dolphins 8-4 is probably one of the biggest surprises to me. I did not see them here. Fitzmagic and Tua, they've been pretty good this year. As we already saw, they're playing some defense, led by Brian Flores, playing some defense. I think they have the third in point differential, 91, better than the Bills. Bills just scored more, and that one loss, which was the tiebreaker from so far with the Bills beating the Dolphins, looking huge. I think they play one more time this year. That's going to decide the division. And then the Colts 8-4. Phillip Rivers still doing his thing. We already know the Colts. They were built. They were building. Team was looking really good. They just didn't have a quarterback last year. Rivers is playing well enough on his 1-year deal, showing that he still got it. And then, so those are the 3 wildcard teams. And right behind him, the Ravens at 6-5, who actually play in another hour or so against the Cowboys. But they've been one of the more disappointing teams, being where they were last year. A lot of them had them, right where the Steelers are, around up here, because they had a great regular season record with Lamar Jackson. But tonight we'll put them at 7-5, and I think that's still because of the conference record. It'll still leave them technically ninth behind Oakland, because of strength of schedule. I mean, a conference record, 5-3, and then you got 4-5. Unfortunately, I do not see the Pats making it, so we can just look at those 9 teams. Even if the Pats win out, what are they going to be? 10-6. I don't think that's going to be good enough. When you got the Colts that are 8-4 already, I do not see them losing that many games to lose the spot. Even though 4-4, Pats are 5-4. So the Pats will still have to win out to even have a chance. But in the meantime, like I said, I do not see them making it. So I will just look at these 9 teams. The Ravens would somehow lose tonight, even though they shouldn't. We might as well just remove them out of the playoff picture, because I don't see them recovering from that. But the way it's looking right now, I don't see this really changing. I see it staying exactly the way it is. A lot of people are saying that the favorites would be the Chiefs to make it back to the Super Bowl. The only thing that'll change is Buffalo and Miami. Like, whoever wins their next matchup against each other when they play again can be the deciding factor. Yeah, like week 17. I think that's the game that decides the division. That's what I think. Only way I see this changing. I need to know who's playing. Play quarterback, was it? It was 2 that played. I forgot that he played. That's why I benched Devontae Parker in fantasy. Because if Fitzmagic was playing against the Chiefs, I would have loved to see that. Fitzmagic versus Mahomes, I would have loved to see that. That could have been an upset special. Because the Chiefs all year have been getting the other team's best shot. Even when we look at all these Chiefs games that were played. Chargers, that was a good game. If Herbert doesn't throw that bomb across his body that was picked off while they had the lead, the Chargers win that game. They, some help from the refs. Like I said, I'm going to try not to be as biased as possible, but there were some plays in there that if, the refs were reffing the game properly, I'm not saying that the Patriots would have won, but the game would have been a lot closer. They lost, like I said, they lost to the Raiders. This wasn't really a game. The weather was ugly. Beat down. This was a good game. I thought the Panthers were going to cause an upset. This was a good game. Another good game. I was watching this. So it was a blow. It was like 27-3. Something. It was very bad. And then Brady was bringing him back. And then Drew Lock. 2 terrible passes that were picked off. I thought Denver was going to actually take that. I think they had the lead going into halftime, if I'm not mistaken. But if we're looking at the Chiefs' remaining schedule, these are, like, if Breeze comes back, these are 4 games that the Chiefs should be heavy favorites, but I see these all being very close games. You have a good defensive team right here in Miami. Do I think they have enough to stop Mahomes? No, I don't think that's possible. But they can slow them down enough where the offense can probably score enough. Tua has to play near perfect football. If Breeze is back, I say they have a chance. Because we already know Breeze, with Michael Thomas being back now, and he still has Kamara, the team can score. Julio Jones came back. Right, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones. We already know those boys can score. Can they stop him? I don't think they can stop anybody, but they can score. So I would like to see a high-flying offensive game. And like I said, they've already played earlier in the week, 23-20, and that was in Kansas City. No, I lied. That was in San Diego or Los Angeles. So maybe it'll be a repeat of a great game, but it being in Kansas City now, who knows? Playing Kansas City is very hard. Because when they lost in... Oh, that was in Kansas City, actually, too, when they lost to Oakland. So, like I said, all of these games, do not be surprised if the Chiefs lose any of these games. I'll go back. Alright, I'll do it manually. Alright, playoff picture. Now, is there a team that can stop Kansas City in the postseason? As I've already mentioned, they are not. People didn't see them as your typical dominant 11-0 team, right? Nobody really, thought that. But the only team I can see that can stop Kansas City are the Steelers. For reasons I mentioned already, they can score. Right? We've already seen that they can score. They are third in the AFC in scoring. But the best defensive team in the AFC, scoring-wise. If we look at all the times the Steelers have made it to the Super Bowl, they didn't have to go through the Patriots. So this year they don't have to go through the Patriots because they won't even be there. Which gives them one of their rare chances of making it back to the Super Bowl because their kryptonite won't be there. They can score. They got Juju. They got Chase Claypool. They got weapons. And if Ebron can catch the ball, that'd be great. Like, they have the pieces to beat the Chiefs. They have a defense that can contain Mahomes and, like I said, not stop them, but, contain them enough where they can score. Like I said, they made the Super Bowl 3 times. I think they were 2-1 under Ben Roethlisberger. Right? They don't even have to go through New England because they won't be there. Every time they've made it through the Super Bowl, New England either lost, like the Steelers didn't have to play them. See, when they beat the Seahawks, Brady lost to the Broncos with Jake Plummer. Champ Bailey, I think he had that 100-yard pick six. That was Brady's, I think, first playoff loss back then. Steelers didn't have to play Patriots because the Broncos beat them. And then when they played the Jets in the AFC Championship game when they lost to the Packers, right? When they lost to the Packers in the Super Bowl, they didn't have to play the Patriots. They had to play the Jets because the Jets beat the Patriots week before that with the Bart Scott can't wait moment. And then when they beat the Cardinals, that was the year after the Patriots went 16-0. And then week 1 of the following season, think Brady tore his ACL, right, and he ended up missing the season. So there was no Brady, no Patriots in the playoffs that year. They didn't even make it. So there's no Brady in the AFC. There's no Patriots making the playoffs this year unless like a lot of magic happens. So everything's in place for Pittsburgh to make it back to the Super Bowl. Like, we can look at the Steelers' remaining schedule. They got to play the Bills. That's a huge game. That is actually a huge game. But they're going to beat the Bengals. I don't see the Colts beating them. As good as the Colts are, I don't see the Colts beating them. And then the Browns, that could be for the division. You don't know. If they lose any of these games and then play the Browns, that could be for the division. But I see them. I honestly see them winning out. Like, yeah, they didn't show up against Washington, but I think they were up 17-0. Right, They were up 17, I think, 17-0. So if the Steelers go into the postseason as the 1 seed, so you gotta go into Heinz Field and beat the Steelers there. That gives them a big chance of beating the Chiefs and making it back to the Super Bowl. That's just what I think. Like I said, I see the Steelers and Chiefs being 1 and 2. Then I don't really see any of this changing. I don't see the Colts taking it over the Titans, even though they have the same record, and it's just conference 6-4, 4-4. Or even in division 3-1, 2-2. So the only way that changes, they beat the Colts 34-17. No, they lost to the Colts. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. They've already lost to the Colts, and they got to play. Then they beat them again, 45-26. So they don't even got to play them again. Right, they're 1-1. So now it's just divisional record. They beat the Jaguars. They beat the Lions. I think they lose to the Packers. So I think they go 3-1 over the last 4. Yes, Texans could play spoiler, and they have a good chance of beating them because since they fired Bill O'Brien, they've actually looked pretty good. But I think the Titans should handle their business here. And then we can look at the Colts schedule real quick. Colts. They got the same record. They play Oakland, Houston, Steelers, and Jaguars. At best, I think they go 2-2. At best. Right? I think they actually do lose to Oakland. Yes, Oakland did not. I keep saying Oakland. The Raiders. I think they do lose to the Raiders. Yes, the Raiders did not look good against the Jets. That was actually, even though they won, I still think that was a little embarrassing. That the only reason why you won is because the defensive coordinator literally blew the game. But I think the Raiders are still good enough to win this game. If Houston's playing spoiler, that's going to be a good game. The Colts should win. I think they lose to the Steelers. And they beat the Jaguars. I think they go 2-2. And the Titans go 3-1. It's just what I think. Comment below what you guys think the playoff picture will look like. Whether the Steelers have any chance of beating the Chiefs, let me know. Will the Bills, win the AFC East, or will the Dolphins take it from them when they play again? Let me know. Comment below what you guys think. It's just my opinion. Like I said, I love to debate. I love to talk sports, especially football. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Other than that, I don't see much changing. That game with the Raiders and the Colts could be for the 7th and last spot. So that matchup is, that's obviously huge for both sides. We can take a look at the Ravens schedule, since they're still technically in it. They play the Browns. Okay, so they're playing Dallas in 20 minutes, actually. Then they play the Browns. That's Monday. That's a big game. Huge game for both teams. I think the Browns do take it. They look more and more impressive as the season goes on. Obviously, without Odell Beckham Jr., Baker Mayfield is showing flashes of being good. And now you got Chubb back. He came back like 2 weeks ago. Now he's back. He's looking better. The receivers looking better. All of them. Then they play the Jaguars. Ravens should win that one. Yes, the Giants did beat Seattle without Daniel Jones. But I think the Ravens, if they get everybody back, should beat the Giants. And then you play the Bengals. Unfortunately, there's no... their quarterback got hurt. I'm forgetting his name. Burrow. That tragedy. So no Burrow. They should be able to beat the Bengals, no problem. So I do think they go 3-1. I do think they lose to the Browns. But they have to win tonight. Tonight is must win. So they'll be 10-6. Right? Is 10-6 good enough? Is 10-6 good enough? Go back and look at the standings as I was saying. The Colts, like I said, I think they go 2-2, which is 10-6. Ravens conference 4-5. Colts, I don't think that's good enough. I don't think that's good enough. Like the Raiders are 5-3 in the conference, and the Raiders do play the Colts. So yeah, I don't think that's good enough to make the playoffs at 10-6. You have to go 11-5. So so let's go over the changes I see happening. Raiders get in, the Colts miss, so they flip. I don't know if Miami beats Buffalo. I don't know if that actually happens. Even if they do, that's 1-1, right? So if you look at division, Buffalo's 4-0, Miami's 2-2. So that actually, even if Miami wins, I don't think they change. That changes. They don't change because of divisional record. Yeah. Divisional record, Buffalo still remains the AFC East champs. But that's if Buffalo wins out. Like they have to beat the Steelers, basically, because they're gonna beat the Patriots. They're gonna beat Denver. See, now I'm having second doubts because I think New England gets revenge and beats them. Because they won because Cam Newton fumbled on the game-winning drive. And they were driving. And it's not like Buffalo has a great defense. We've already seen they allow a lot of points. So, heard it here first. Don't be surprised if Miami takes the division with how great Josh Allen has been this year. Don't be surprised if it's Magic and Tua take the division from them. It's crazy. I don't think people realize how close Miami is from taking that division from Buffalo. I don't think we've looked at it that far. But with all that said and done, AFC Championship game is going to be Pittsburgh and Kansas City. And I do think Pittsburgh has a great chance of beating them. Is it enough? We'll see. We got 4 more weeks. Let's see. I'll be doing more videos like this. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Any questions, suggestions. Like I said, this is my first video. I would like to do more. I would like to improve on it. What you guys think I need. Opinions, suggestions, questions. What you guys think? Am I wrong? Any of you agree? So, whatever it is you guys want to say, let me know. Keep it nice. Don't be mean. As y'all can see, I was doing some homework to make sure I knew what I was talking about. Like I said, see, 08-09, they beat the Cardinals. There's no New England here. There's no New England. So I did a little bit of research to make sure I knew what I was talking about. I remembered this. I was rooting for the Cardinals. I still have my Fitzgerald jersey from back then. So, like I said, I will be playing 2K as well right after this. So, twitch.tv/PRMaverickz. Feel free to hit that follow button there. We can talk some more sports there. I will leave my links down below: Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. And you will see another video tomorrow from the NFC side. Peace.